In the previous video, we talked about QUIC and how it builds upon UDP to offer a protocol that's great with streaming and also is highly secure. And this is why it's very relevant for the modern world. But we also saw that QUIC and UDP are still both transport layer protocols. Now the question was, how do we leverage QUIC and UDP to actually innovate on the application layer? And this video is about HTTP3. So we learned about HTTP1 and HTTP2, and both of them were based on TCP, whereas HTTP3 actually uses QUIC. So in this diagram, you see QUIC being used in the handshake and the connection. We also learned that QUIC by default has TLS 1.3. In HTTP2, you can see TCP TLS 1.3 and HTTP2 communication happening at the end. With HTTP3, you have QUIC, and QUIC by default has TLS 1.3, and you can see the HTTP3 communication happening at the end. Now, we have not shown all of the steps of TCP and TLS 1.3. You know that there are many more steps here. I've just shown a representation here that TCP happens before and then TLS happens, and then you can communicate with HTTP2. But in reality, there are many more steps with TCP and many other steps with TLS, and then you start interact. With HTTP3, because we're using QUIC, steps to actually complete the handshake will be far lesser. So now let's dig down deeper into the innovations that power HTTP3. I want to take a quick minute to share something very important with you. As you move up in your engineering career, DSA and coding become less and less important, and system design becomes more and more important. To the extent that if you're going for a director, VP, or CTO position, the only thing they're checking for are your system design skills, because they assume that since you've spent so much time in the industry, you're very good with coding and DSA. Now, there are many resources on the internet for basic system design, but there isn't much for advanced level system design or using system design skills to actually work with complex systems. And this is why I've built a 3-month advanced system design cohort. If you're someone who has some experience in the industry and you resonate with this problem statement, you might want to fill the form that's in the comments and in the description of this video. 20 people have already joined up in this cohort. We'll check to see if you're a good fit once you fill the form, and we'll set up a time with you. Now let's get back to the video. So we know that HTTP2 improved upon HTTP1 in 3 big ways. So we had multiplexing, where we could have multiple parallel streams inside one TCP connection. Then we had header compression, which meant we used less bandwidth overhead. Then we had binary framing, which meant we had better performance and simpler parsing. Now, all of these innovations made HTTP2 much faster than HTTP1. And you could also do more things. So even though we improved a lot, we were still bound by the transport level protocol, which was TCP. And no matter how much you improve, if you're being held back because of the foundational blocks, it's very difficult to improve significantly. And let's see why that was a problem. So even though HTTP2 multiplexed multiple streams logically, all those streams still sat inside a single TCP connection. They were not multiple TCP connections. So when one TCP packet is lost, you know that TCP really focuses on ensuring that packets are actually transferred. So this is why TCP must retransmit and reorder before any subsequent data can be delivered until the previous TCP packet was delivered. This means that all streams had to wait, even those that were unrelated to the lost packet. And this makes it super inefficient. And so in the previous video, we learned about QUIC, how it's a great transport layer, which improves upon UDP by building upon it. So the next great idea was, how about the next HTTP version, which is HTTP3, was based on QUIC rather than TCP, wherein you could get all the benefits of QUIC and you didn't have to be limited by TCP. Now the question could be that, hey, we already have QUIC that's building upon UDP. Then why not just use QUIC? Why do we even need HTTP3? And obviously the reason for that is, of course, we need some new innovation at the application layer, but also QUIC just defines how data is transported, but does not define what that data means, because HTTP3 defines request response semantics, header format, flow control of HTTP streams, control frames, settings, push behavior priorities, and all of that we can leverage with the help of what HTTP1 and 2 had already built, which we can now transfer into HTTP3. So if you only had QUIC, you could build other application protocols like DNS over QUIC, web transfer, etc. But you wouldn't have the other stuff like URLs, headers, caching, cookies, content negotiation, all of which comes with the help of HTTP. So now, to improve upon HTTP2, all we did was we changed the underlying fundamental layer, the transport layer, TCP. We changed that to QUIC. And you know that QUIC uses UDP, which already enhances streaming. And QUIC, as we learned in the last video, adds a lot of features on top of UDP, like security and better streaming abilities. And this, combined with HTTP's already existing features of working with headers, working with URLs and caching and cookies, you end up getting HTTP3. and many softwares and technologies are currently upgrading to HTTP3. So I hope you've enjoyed our entire journey from HTTP to HTTP2 to HTTP3, and then also learning things like UDP and QUIC. And now I hope everything makes sense. Why we learned about TCP, why we learned about UDP, why we learned about QUIC, because they actually form the basic fundamental blocks for HTTP3. And we've seen the evolution of HTTP3, and now we know how we can use all of this. So it's important to go through all those videos and build upon all our knowledge. At the same time, we've also seen some technologies that leverage things like HTTP2, like gRPC, for example. Now in the next video, I want to talk to you about another interesting protocol called MQTT. And it serves a very interesting purpose. So I'll see you in the next one.